This is called hipster rock. But don't tell me that when you heard that initial beat in, you didn't think that, well, no, I'm not going to date myself. It's an 80s song. So I do that enough. We're going to stop with that and all that. But I thought it was something that Michael Jackson. I mean, it was the same notes to begin that song that I'll beat it. Okay, so. It was an overrated song. I'm sorry. You know what isn't overrated? It's the Hibachi House. They're right there on your way, actually, to the ball game. If you're coming from the majority of Unicoi County, if you're coming from, let's say, beyond Irwin, say, I guess, east of Irwin on 26 or so, and so you get off 40, and, you know, you can go to Hibachi House, and I love Hibachi House. They were initial sponsor of this program, and Hibachi House, I remember because of that, the 2016 presidential election. I anchored it for Livewire. All right, for Livewire 103.9, and I loved doing it. That was one of my, that was one of the highlights of my career in all this, was doing the election returns in 2016. But, you know, you weren't going to go home, and it was going to start at 7. This show ended at 2, and I didn't necessarily feel like driving back to Johnson City for that. So, you know, and I remember eating at Asian House, or not Asian House, I have eaten at Asian House too, and remember, you get 10% off if you're in Johnson City by mentioning my name at Asian House. But the one thing about Hibachi House, which is in Irwin, wonderful, wonderful fare. Maybe you want an egg roll real fast. Or maybe you wanted, what I remember was a Chinese fare with beef and onions and rice. And it kept me going until midnight that day because we were on the air, 5 hours, giving the election coverage in 2016. But Hibachi House, that's a pretty good restaurant. Take it from me. So you want to go there. Barnes Exterminating, that's if bugs are eating your food, and all that. You'll want to call Barnes Exterminating. Kentucky Fried Chicken, by the way, watch 1420 Facebook page for home game giveaways. KFC. They won't be doing it tomorrow because that's South Green. But yeah, KFC. You know what I love about the Irwin KFC is on Friday, or not on Fridays, but on Wednesday. So we've got to wait now 7 days, I guess. But you're in East Tennessee. It's the South. What's a Southern delicacy? Chicken livers. I guess we can go to if you're from out of town, you just don't understand or something like that. But no, chicken liver. Nobody does it better than KFC. Nobody. And on top of that, you can get a liver dinner. That means 2 sides and the drink at KFC on a Wednesday, $4.26. That's after taxes. They advertised as $3.99 or $3.95 or whatever. But after taxes is $4.26. That's a deal. And I will tell you that the chicken liver, they give you plenty of them. And it's delicious because they've got the original recipe breading on them. But what I'm going to tell you is that usually they can be a little filling, and all that. Here's what I always recommend. You hear this. Get that dinner. Get the sides. Get the drink. Take it home. Got dogs? They'll love you. Share it with them. I'm telling you. That's what I do. I can't get this beagle to stay away from me now. I just, that's the way it is. Computer guy in Irwin. I use Vince. He's the best. There's just no question about it. It's right there downtown Irwin. Worth driving in from out of town to go to, as a matter of fact, because look at the computer. Most places they charge what, $69.99. He charges, or at least he did last I looked, $39.99. So you'll save money going to Vince. Plus, he knows computers like nobody else, and he also has his collection of beautiful brunette women who he has collected autographed 8x11 glossies of that he will show you there at his store on Gay Street, the computer guy in Irwin. Also, don't forget the Unicoi County Insurance Agency with Jackie Rogers. Yeah, I've talked to them also about insuring my, automobile collection. And yes, automobile collection. Okay, I've got quite the automobile collection. Anyway, some Billson here, okay? Yeah, I like the finer things in life. And it's Mr. Billson to you, by the way, okay? But anyway, here, health and home care, from CPAP machines, hospital beds, crutches, you name it. Health and home care. If you're a little bit down under the weather, I mean, that's not necessarily what you like to hear. If you need a crutch, health and home care is your place to go, though. No question about that. I implied earlier that if you were I'm very independent. So if you really wanted the significant other, you might be looking at a crutch. All right, I said it. There you go. But there is now, you're going to see this is now the new romance. Yeah, I could talk about the, guy talk, lesbian romance of Miley Cyrus, but, what can I say about that? That somebody hasn't already. I did see this over the weekend. I want to talk about keeping up with the Kardashians, and it interested me, and I'm going to tell you why here just a second. Brody Jenner's rumored girlfriend is Jose Canseco, 19-year-old daughter of Jose Canseco. Josie Canseco, like Josie and the Pussycats, long tails and ears like hats, all that. Tara Reid was when they did that in the movie a while back, right? I never got to see that. I kind of like it. But Josie Canseco, Brody Jenner, they're rumored to be an item. Now, you may remember Josie Canseco was, I believe, the first or one of the first models to be a Playboy centerfold who didn't have to take it all off. But that is really Jose Canseco getting his own way right there. But if you can be the Canseco family and push around Playboy, then you know that Playboy is not at its heyday anymore. But anyhow, that's the sort of thing. But no, she was one of the first. And they experimented with that in non-nude pictorials in Playboy for about a year. And then they said, no, people do not read this for the interesting articles. And they went back to, what we know Playboy to be. And I just mentioned, obviously Jose Canseco's daughter, who is quite a looker, and all this, and Brody Jenner, who, keeping up with Kardashians and such. And what else can we discuss here? He's trying to be a rock star and all that. If you want to know, by the way, what Josie Canseco here on Facebook, radio, she's got long blonde hair. She is an attractive woman. I mean, you'd expect so if Jose Canseco is her father. But there it is. And I mention this because I'm upset because I used to work with Jose Canseco. That's right. I was a broadcaster in something called the Texas Winter League, and he used to participate in that. He'd play in the Texas Winter League. Yes, at 48 years of age, he'd play third base. He'd play pitcher, and all this. And it was a showcase baseball league, which meant that, let's say, we had a player, for instance, who once played at King. His name was Doug Freeman. And he made a minor league baseball team. He became the last Alexandria ace to ever hit a home run at Bringhurst Field. There you go. It was an independent league, Alexandria Aces in Louisiana, by the way, okay, if you want to know. But anyway, Doug Freeman used to play at King, and also he had East Tennessee, and Sean Bond from Rogersville, who I believe is now in coaching some youth teams and such. Sean Bond was trying to make an independent league baseball team. The opportunities are kind of short up by then, and I don't believe that he got onto a team, but he played briefly at Walters State, if memory serves, and all this. Anyway, I mentioned this. What a showcase baseball league is that, let's say you are someone from Walters State, but you don't, sign a pro contract or a college scholarship or whatever, but you still want to play ball. It is a bad deal in what you have to pay to play in it. Assuming you land with a team, you're probably going to pay the showcase league what you would have made as a professional for that 1 year. So in that case, it's a bad deal. But other than that, it's a month long. Usually it was in South Texas. Then when they moved the league to Yuma, it no longer exists. And you basically play for a month, February. You're put on a team, managers from independent league teams that look for talent. You get some big league scouts there as well. And, it's the baseball that's going on at the time and all that. And so you're showcasing your skills. And the idea, the hope is that it's better than a, say, tryout camp where, if you're 5 pounds too light, or, they give you 15 seconds to make the team, basically, or to sign a contract at an open tryout camp, and you get lost among the 200 people that are there. We had plenty of guys who said, don't call us, we'll call you, after a tryout camp in the showcase leagues that actually did sign with an independent league team. The problem was that if you were a 300 hitter in the showcase league and you were just a little skinny, or you were a year too old or something like that, you probably still weren't going to make it. That was the thing. And also you weren't going to make any money in the end of the day. But no, that was what showcase. And Jose Canseco used to take part of it. I was the broadcaster with that. Ozzie Canseco, his twin brother, was a minor league manager. So was Jose Canseco in the independent leagues. And I think he's getting a little bit away from that now and such. But no, when I saw that, I said, I've got to mention that for... I don't know, maybe I see right there, try to align myself back when I get in with the Kardashians right there and all that. Well, I mean, hey, that's my in, I guess. Brody Jenner, Jose Canseco's daughter, all this. Problem is, I don't know if I want to go down that path, to be brutally honest with you. All that, I am just not sure. You want to talk about, well, let's see, I've got a couple of stories about tattoos in our next segment to get to. I could probably stand to talk a little bit about high school football and such. So I'm looking through my stories that I have right now. I do, though, want to mention that we will be broadcasting tomorrow, Unicoi County and South Green, 7 o'clock is the pregame, 7:30 kickoff. Myself and Andy Slagle. Here are some more of the sponsors. Unicoi County Gas Utility District, switch to gas for warmer winters. Also, you know what? Switch to gas, because I'll tell you what, I like gas stoves. They're on, they're on. They're off, they're off. You don't put your hand on a burning electric burn. I mean, I've always preferred gas stoves. Okay, I'd go with that. Irwin Paint and Body Shop. I've taken my car there, professional, beautiful, certified. Irwin Paint and Body Shop. Triple J Auto. Now on the corner of Main and Jackson Love in Irwin. Triple J Auto, Maple Grove Restaurant in Unicoi, healthy salads, comfort foods. I'm going to have to check this out. A full menu. Maple Grove Restaurant and Food Line weekly specials. Your hometown store, they've got them in Irwin. They've also got another one in Johnson City, by the way. It is the only place I know where you can get bacon and horseradish dip, which is my favorite for the potato chips. And since there's nothing to do around here other than listen to the high school football game, you'll probably be eating some potato chips, and you want it to be as flavorful as possible. Remember the bacon and horseradish dip, only sold in this area that I can find at Food Lion, a proud sponsor of Unicoi County football on 1420 WEMB Sports Radio. When we come back, yes, I'm going to talk about tattoos and sports. Tri-City Sports Now coming back after this.
Marky Billson for Asian House, home of the Happy Box meal, featuring plentiful appetizers and rice around your choice of 20 mouth-watering Chinese dishes. Or try their Japanese fare, sushi, sashimi, and the grill. I had my birthday dinner at Asian House and was most satisfied. Find the great menu and deals at goasianhouse.com. Use Tom for catering. You'll be most satisfied too. Asian House, nestled in the Shops on West Market on the way to Jonesboro. Mention 1420 WEMB Sports Radio and get 10% off.